Hello there everybody, this is Mafingie here, and welcome to episode 2 of Feed the Beast. So, today I am in my basement, my lovely new basement, and I have my lovely new ore processing system, which I'm going to explain. So the mod I used for my ore processing system is thermal expansion. The first thing you should know about thermal expansion is that it is a technical mod. It is a machine-based mod, as you can see by these machines here. Why am I in cheat mode? I should be in recipe mode. It's because I updated my mod pack. So yes, it uses power, and it comes with a lot of very, very useful things such as fluid transport and item transport. So, the basic, well, how this works is you throw an ore in here, such as gold or iron, and it gets sent through the processing. It gets automatically pulverized and smelted, thereby doubling the ores you get. And it gets spat out into this output chest. So the machines I'll start with. The pulverizer is made as such. Takes pistons, some flint, some copper, a redstone reception coil, and a machine frame. The reception coil and the machine frame are used by most of these machines. And I also have a redstone furnace, which is made similarly. So what happens is, as I said, the ores go in through this pipe into the pulverizer first. They get doubled. They get each ore becomes 2 dust, and then they get sent for auto smelting. So each of these machines has 5 tabs. These 2 tabs are information and tutorial. They're not very, very useful. This is the power usage. Currently it is using no redstone flux per tick because I haven't put anything in there. And the maximum amount it can use is 40 RF per tick. It currently has a full buffer of energy as well. The redstone furnace is the same, except it only uses 20 RF per tick. The other tab, this is the redstone control tab, which allows you to specify redstone control for the machines. So right now it is on low, meaning the machine will work when there is no redstone signal. You can also ignore redstone signal or have it only work when there is a redstone signal. I have the same setting for the redstone furnace. The final tab is configuration, and this is an incredibly useful tab. If you'll notice that the input slot and the output slot are coloured, and they correspond to these the sides of the machine. So what this allows you to do is automatically input and output from certain sides of the machine. So the input is currently configured to the bottom, so I can change this tab by left clicking on it, and right now the input is set to the bottom. And what that means is, if I go down and collect my blocks again, is this pipe, which I will explain soon enough. Let me turn into a bat so I can fly out. That pipe that is going into the machine goes into the input slot as correlates to the configuration tab. So this allows for some very, very compact systems, such as this one here. So these 2 machines are right next to each other, and there is no pipe between them, but they can still move items between them. The output slot of the pulverizer is configured to the right side, and the input slot of the redstone furnace is configured to the left side. So any ore I put in here will get pulverized, and the output will be sent into here, which is then sucked out via the pipe and sent to the output chest over here. I'll talk about these covers in a second, but for now that is what the system consists of. How do I get out of here? Do I go? Yes, I go under here. So let me repair my wall. So yes, this is how I'm going to be processing ores. So any ore that I find goes in here. It gets automatically sucked out by this pipe and processed and put in here. The item ducts, as they are called, I will talk about now. They are not hard to make. Item duct, there we go. They require 2 tin and 1 lead. You simply place them down and they will automatically connect to any inventory that they come across. The default mode for each of the heads is input, so any item that enters the system will try and get input itself into the inventory. However, you can change the mode by right-clicking with the crescent hammer. This is output mode, which allows you to pull items out of machines. You will, if you notice, there is a difference between this one, and that is because by default you outputting needs a redstone signal. So I have my lever there, which controls that. The final mode is non-connecting, which is very, very useful. The pipes themselves also have 3 modes. They have the dense mode, meaning that items will try to go down this path last. If there was another path, if there was another chest next to this with a pipe, it would try and go there before it goes into this inventory. Then there is the vacuum mode, meaning which is the opposite of dense mode. It becomes the top priority, and it will try and suck items all items into the system into this inventory. The final mode is actually no, this one doesn't have a final mode. Oh well. So I can now repair my floor. Brilliant. So those covers are from a mod called Forge Microblocks. So if I go to Micro blocks, you can see that you can make microblocks out of tons and tons and tons of different blocks. There are all sorts of microblocks. There are hollow ones and tiny ones, and they're very fun to play around with. But the most important thing that you can do with them is fit them into the same block. So right here I have 2 microblocks in the same block. So that allows you to make very compact piping systems, as I've done here, to prevent these pipes from connecting. I have covers. And they're also quite fun to play around with, and you can do some nice design with them. Now, the Minecraft music. Go away. Music. Go away. Good. Now, the power sources I'm using. These are the engines I'm using. These are called steam dynamos. So if I go into Dynamo, there are 4 kinds of dynamos, which I will get into later, but the one I've used is a steam dynamo, which requires copper, some gears, and a redstone transmission coil, which requires silver. These produce fuel from a solid fuel source and water. You can also pump steam into them from other mods, because they are a steam dynamo, they run off steam. They can produce a maximum of 80 RF per tick, and they also have a redstone control tab. In order to, and they output their energy into energy conduits, which are how you transport energy in the mod. So if I go under conduit, you can see the 3 kinds of energy conduits. The leadstone energy conduit, which is the most basic, which is made as such. The downside to that is it can only transfer 80 RF per tick, which is about as much as one of these engines produces. But I have 4, so I'd need more capacity. So I upgraded them to hardened energy conduits with some invar that I made earlier, and that can transfer. These can transfer 400 RF per tick. These here are called hardened. Sorry, before I go into them, I have those energy conduits running up the side and behind the machines to power them. There is no power loss over distance with these, so you can run them as far as you want, and you will not get a power loss. These are hardened energy cells, and I'm using them to store the power. These also have a configuration tab and a redstone control. So for these, the configuration is blue being input, orange being output, and yellow being non-connecting. So because there is an input on top of this one and an output on the bottom of this one, the power is automatically being ferried downwards. This hardened energy cell is full, and this one has a little bit of power. You can also decrease and increase the amount of RF that they are allowed to input or output, so they can act as a choke. The final thing I have to talk about are these fluid ducts. The fluid ducts work almost identically to the item ducts, except they carry fluids. So they have 2 modes. 3 modes even. They have input, output, and non-connecting. Output once again requiring a redstone signal, and they go down through these hollow covers. These are the same as these covers over here, except they're hollow, and you make them as such. You make them as such. Oh, it won't tell you. Okay, well, apparently it doesn't say the recipe, but you take these covers and you put them in a crafting grid with a hole in the center. So they go down, and you may be asking where my water comes from, and that is why I am digging down into here. I have a machine here called an aqueous accumulator, which creates water. Aqueous, which is made as such. This requires, instead of a reception coil, it requires a pneumatic servo. So, one thing I have forgot to mention about fluid ducts, they used to be called liquid ducts, they're now fluid ducts, is that they are more intelligent than item ducts. Even though this is set to input mode, even though this is set to output mode, it is pulling in water. So I don't have to configure it like this to make the water come out of the aqueous accumulator. All sides of the aqueous accumulator are outputs, which is fine. So this machine doesn't require power. As you can see, it's not connecting to this conduit. But what it does need are water source blocks to accumulate water. So it acts as almost as a pump combined with a water source block. So below here I have another one, and essentially it acts as an infinite water source. I have 2 water blocks on each side, and the one in the middle would become a water source block, but instead I've placed the aqueous accumulator there, and it keeps creating water from that. So if I fix my floor, ba-dum, 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 dun dun dun, fantastic. So, because the redstone controller is set to low, if I turn off these levers, I will get power. But I'm going to turn them off because I don't want any more power. I have enough power. That's what I've been doing, and that's it really. So, what we're going to be working on this episode is sleep. Let's have some sleep. We are going to be getting some more machines from thermal expansion. So if I type in thermal oops, I've put 2 spaces. Expansion. There we go. There are a bunch of machines, and the machines I would like are a sawmill, an induction smelter, a magma crucible, and a fluid transposer. And a energetic infuser. So I'll get... How did you shoot me? Why are you wearing armor? Give me that armor now. Thank you. Oh, you didn't give me the armor. I want to know where he came from and where he got the armor. Oh well. Yeah, so I'm going to make those machines and then return once I have crafted them all. There we are. We have our sawmill and our induction smelter there. And over here, our energetic infuser. So, the reason I made the energetic infuser is for this. As you can see, I've added the what's it called again? The flux ability to my pickaxes, meaning they now run on energy instead of durability. So right now my silky pick has a full thing of power, a full bar of power, but if I start mining, the power should have depleted somewhat. Yes, it has. But then I can go over to my energetic infuser and throw this in here, and it's now fully charged again. So, no more durability, no more worrying about tools breaking, or at least once I add that to the rest of my tools. So, the sawmill is very, very useful because if I go up here and get some wood, there we go, some oak wood, I can throw that in the sawmill and it will give me more wood. So, there we go, 1 piece of wood in the sawmill will come out to be, if I check my output chest, will come out to be a copper. No, not a copper. Come on. Come on. It's a little bit slow running through the system, but it works. There we go. 6 wood and 1 sawdust. So it is a much better return on wood. The induction smelter has many, many, many uses. So if I click there, I can see recipes. It has many uses, 42 pages of them. But the main ones the main thing that I wanted it for is... Where is it? This. I have some cinnabar. Wait, no, that's the wrong recipe. Where is it? Where's the recipe I was after? there we go, this one. I have some cinnabar from pulverizing redstone ore, and I can smelt cobalt ore with that to triple my ore and get some iron. So it's a much better return on my cobalt. Have I got anything else to say? No, I don't think so. But the project we're going to work on today is a tree farm, because I am in sore need of wood. So the mod we're going to be using and actually the tree farm can also function as a charcoal farm as well for my engine. So it is a multi-use project that will hold us through a lot of the game. Actually, a tree farm is one of the best and most useful things you can get. Oops, I want that off. And I want these engines off as well, so I'm not processing anymore. There we go. Boom, and one more coal for here. There we go. Yes, I'm not... When this wood has processed, and it almost has, I will have no more need. I'll bring this wood up. Sawdust has several uses as well. You can make it into compressed sawdust or florbs, which are one-use liquid storage mechanics. So, tree farm. The mod we're going to be using for the tree farm is a mod called Steve's Carts. Steve's Carts, there we go. So, it's essentially a modular cart system. Each of these modules that you see here can be added in any combination to the different carts, and you can make completely customizable and completely personalized carts. Mine carts, that is. So, before we get going with the cart, I'm going to go back to the abandoned mine shaft that I found a little while ago and mine up some of the tracks. So I will be right back. So I've returned with the tracks, and now for Steve's carts. In order to create carts, we need a cart assembler, and the cart assembler requires simple printed circuit boards. So I'm going to make a few printed circuit boards, and I'll just turn VSync off. There we go. I'll make a couple of printed circuit boards because they will be useful in the upcoming use of this mod. So there we go. Oh, what's that? Map controller module, open blocks. I didn't know that's how you made that. Cart assembler. We're going to need some stone as well. Let's have the stone. Brilliant. We only need one cart assembler. Now, the cart assembler I'm going to place downstairs, I think. I'll place it in this corner over here. So, to make a cart, first you need a chassis, and the chassis we're going to be using is the hardened. No, that's not the name for it. It's the reinforced. There we go. Reinforced hull. There we go. Reinforced hull. And that is made with reinforced metal, which is made from smelting stabilized metal, which is made as such. Refined hardener is made from obsidian and diamonds. So this is fairly expensive. And hardened mesh is made from refined hardener. So how much will I need? I need 5, 6, 7 of the stabilized metal, and so I'm going to need to make 2 batches of this, and so 2 times 7 refined hardness is 14, so I'm going to need to do this 7 times, so 7 diamonds and 28 obsidian. I will be back when I have gathered those materials. So I'm just about to smelt up my stabilized metal, and here it goes. Now that will create the hull, but that is not all we want. We want a cutter, I think it's called. What's it called again? Cutter? Something to chop... Yes, it is. It's a cutter. It's a wood cutter to cut down the tree. So to make a hardened wood cutter, we're going to need 5 more reinforced metal. No, we're going to do it this way. We need 5 reinforced metal to make these blades. So I'm going to go and gather more resources in order to make that, and I'll be back when I've made both the hardened wood cutter and the hull. So, we have our hull and we have our tool, but now we need an engine, some storage, and some add-ons possibly. So, for our engine, we're going to go with a coal engine, because we're going to be powering this thing with charcoal from the farm, from the tree farm itself. Coal engine requires 2 pistons, a furnace, and 5 iron. 5 iron, 2 pistons, I don't think I have, so I'll have to get 2 redstone, 2 iron, a bunch of cobble, furnace as well, and some wood. So let's make some pistons. There we go, very nice. And furnace, I'll just make 7 because I will need them. Coal engine. Now, add-ons, we're going to want a smelter. There we go. An advanced smelter, which will allow us to smelt the wood that we get from the tree farm, and use that not only to power the cart, but also to power our machines and furnaces. So we need a smelter, which is a furnace and a simple PCB. Do I have any more? So I'm back. Sorry for the quick cut, but one of my relatives appeared at my door and started knocking incessantly. So where were we? We were making a smelter, an advanced smelter. So for that I needed a normal smelter, which is made as such, and I needed one advanced PCB, which is made like that. Need more iron, which is made like this, and a diamond. My diamond supply is dwindling fast. There we go, advanced smelter. So let's go and stick that on the lag spike. Let's go and stick that on the cart. Brilliant. Now we need the coal engine and storage, and we may want some attachments. I'll have to think about that. So all of the chests in Steve's carts. Okay, that's not. I want Steve's carts. All of the chests, here they are. All of the different storage types are made from these chest panes. So what storage do I want? I want quite a lot of storage, so I'm going to probably go for a top chest and some side chests. Side chests and top chest. Oh, and I also need some chest locks, so I'm going to get crafting, and I will be back in a few minutes. Here we are with our storage, and that looks like a very nice, very nice cart indeed. Now, I'm just trying to think if there is anything else I might want on this cart. I'm going to make another quick cut and just check. I don't think there's anything we're missing, though. Okay. So, the cart assembler requires power in the form of flammable fuels, and I've set up a hopper here with lots and lots of charcoal in it, and this will take 1 hour to assemble. So I'm going to start the assembly now, and now we just wait. We have to wait for the progress bar to fill up, but while that is happening, we are going to... it's almost night time, that's not good. We're going to pick a location for the tree farm. I'm thinking on this side of the complex, so I'm going to flatten the terrain as much as possible, and then actually I'll use my charcoal miner on these trees, and then I can lay out the tracks in preparation for the tree farm. Although there is one more thing I must do, make for this, and that is some way of getting the items in and out of the cart. And I am going to do that with a cart, with a cargo manager. There it is. But I won't make that yet. I'll get the cart sorted first, and the track. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to start flattening the terrain, and I will be back in a second. So I finished laying out the track, except for this advanced detector rail and the cargo manager. So the advanced detector rail is used by Steve's carts to interact with the individual Steve's carts blocks, so that is why I need that here. This is our tree farm really, until we extend it when we get more track. But for now, I am just waiting for the cart to be created. So while we wait, I thought I would do a bit of tinkers and get myself a hammer. So I'm going to assemble all of the items I require and then be back in a second. So I've made my decisions on materials. We're going to be having a cobalt head for speed on our hammer. And we're also going to have a cobalt plate for speed. And we're also going to have a manulin plate for durability. And the rod is thaumium, so we get our extra modifier, which will be fantastic. Swap to manulin. I think Oscar fell in the smeltery because there's blood in there. I certainly haven't fallen in the smeltery. I made sure not to do that. Here we go. Come here. Fantastic. Now for oh yes, I had to do some Thorncraft to get the thaumium, but I failed rather abysmally. So we need our plates and our rod. Now, does it make a difference which side the plate is on? Yes, it does. I'm going to put the plate on that side. So there we go, mining speed 4.13, mining level cobalt. Actually, just a quick test. What is the mining speed like with a cobalt plate? I will be using a cobalt plate most definitely, so it doesn't hurt to make another. Come on. Come on. Brilliant. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, the mining speed goes up to 4.4, but the durability goes down to by... what's that by? Wow, that's a lot of durability that it goes down by. So, I'm going to keep the durability, I think. And we're going to call it... what are we calling it? Let's call it work... oops, I'm not typing. Work hammer. Brilliant, look at that. Plus 6 attack damage. And for modifiers, we'll go for redstone for haste. Just make some blocks. I shouldn't have done it that way, that was a bad way to do it. There we go, 15. And we'll also add a silky jewel onto it. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll put flux on it as well so we can recharge it. 100. Modifiers remaining. I'm going to put the silky jewel on now. Silk touch. And now I need to make the thingy-mabob, the leadstone energy cell. So we need some lead, copper, some glass, leadstone. Requires a frame. Oh, I needed some redstone block. Fantastic, I already had some of them. And for the actual thing we need an electrum coil with electrum made of electrum. So where's my electrum? Brilliant. Electrum is a real alloy, not many people seem to know that. There we go. Leadstone energy cell. Did I just throw that? No, it's in my inventory. On it goes. Work hammer. With silk touch 1. Fantastic. So I'm going to put some charge on this. And then we can go diggy holing with it to see what it's like. Energetic infuser. Come on, infuse. Infuse your energy. Fantastic. Now let's go and dig some holes. What's the mining speed like on this? It's good. Worse with the laggy server, but still good. I like that a lot. That's fantastic. We now have a work hammer. I can mine quickly. I can spawn mobs down here quickly. I can mine marble quickly. And I can clear out rooms quickly, which is the most important thing. I'll just go into bat mode for this. And it also provides a nice ready source of stone. Now, one thing we are going to add to it is a gold block and a diamond. And with that gold block and that diamond, I'm running out of gold actually. I had to go redstone mining between segments because I completely ran out of redstone. And we will add another level of haste. Let me just make another redstone block. Because haste is good, which we have learnt. Bum bum. And another level of haste. Look at that. That's mining speed of 11.73. We can add 2 more modifiers onto this. And we're using a enchanted golden apple and a nether star. Well, an enchanted golden apple and a diamond block, and then a nether star, if you catch my drift. This is really quick now. I like very much. Dig, 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 dig. I don't know why I'm digging this out, because it's fun. Look at that. One very, very nice hammer that gives me lots of stone. I'll never need to smelt again. I don't want that. I don't want that. So, I'm going to check on the cart progress. Where's our cart? We have 27 more minutes. So, what can we do? What could we do? We can start to... Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a flux capacitor because to store redstone. Actually, no, I can't do that. Enderium. Oh no, we can go into using enderium. So let's do this. To make a redstone flux capacitor, we need to do this. Oh, we need to go through all of the levels of flux capacitor. So what the flux capacitors do is they store redstone flux in your inventory, so they will charge all of these tools. I was pulverizing some blaze rods, so I have a piece of sulfur. Fantastic. Oh yeah, pro tip, you can pulverize wool into 4-string, and you can pulverize... Oops, lag spike. And you can pulverize... blaze rods into 6 blaze dust stuff. It's night time, I'd better sleep. Let's first make this basic flux capacitor. Leadstone flux capacitor. Now to make this flux capacitor we need a tin and some invar. Invar. Tin. Fantastic. The, what is this? Hardened flux capacitor. Do we not have enough? We've got invar. Tin. What is it we're missing? Oh yes, the things with durability bars, I think that's called metadata, don't work when you shift click into the crafting station. Or anything for that matter. Redstone flux capacitor, a diamond, electrum, a diamond, 2 electrum. I hope we don't have to use any more electrum. Diamond, electrum, redstone. That holds 2 million RF. Now, resonant flux capacitor. This requires enderium. Now, enderium is very hard to make. But it will be worth it in the end. So you need that induction smelter that we made earlier. Pyrotheum, which is made of coal dust, sulfur dust, blaze powder, and redstone. And I get 2 of it, so that will be just enough for this recipe, because I need 1 for the actual crafting and 1 to smelt the enderium. And 2 enderium blend, which is made with... Oh, I don't have shiny. I don't have shiny. What do I do now? I could go and find some ferrous, but I don't think it's worth it. So I think I'm stuck now with this redstone flux capacitor. I'm just trying to think of any other systems that require setting up. Going there. Well, once the tree farm is set up, we can go into a lot more systems that we require. So at the moment, I think I'm going to... Oh, creative flux capacitor, yes! That's very good. I'd like 1 of them, but unfortunately they're creative mode only, so we can't get that. I'm going to make a quick cut and wait a little bit longer for the cart to be created. So, we've been recording for 30 minutes, 35 minutes in fact, but I am going to do one thing very, very quickly, and that is make a few more, come back here, a few more leadstone energy cells to add to our tools. Let me see, what do we need? We need two redstone blocks. Brilliant. We need lead, glass, which I have just enough of. Leadstone. There we go. And then I require copper, 6 copper, and 4 redstone. And obviously the two electrum that are yet to come. Have they smelted? Not yet. Or do I need electrum? Yes, I need the conductance coils, so I need to wait for these electrums to smelt. In the meantime, I'm going to drain the cobalt out of there, and when that's done... Oh, hi. Hi, guy. And when that's done, I have 1 cobalt left, so I can use ingot cast to get the last one out. Oh, wait, I'm smelting... What was that? Was that gold? Please say that was electrum. Yes, that was electrum. 1 more electrum. Do we get any more electrum? Yes, we do. This is fantastic. Come here, electrum. And I think that should be the last electrum. Yes. Or not. 2 more. And I can go in here. Go over to here. Craft up these 2 conductance coils. Throw them in there. And 2 leadstone energy cells. Ready to be added to our tools when I see fit. I'm not going to add them now because I can't. I've used up the modifiers. I think this tool has... Oh, this tool doesn't quite have looting 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've used 4 modifiers on this one, so I would need to use a gold block and a diamond, I think, to get the last modifier in that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you again soon.